And we're back. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco. Today is December 9th, 2020. And I think it's time for another edition of Nerd News.
Nerd News.
Sponsored by GoPro.
GoPro, the chilies of cameras. If you like chilies.
Just better quality. All right.
We're either going to get like a chili sponsorship where they're really happy, or GoPro is not going to let us use their equipment
Or we're
anymore.
going to get banned from chilies like Pan.
Oh, Beasley.
So we have some big nerd news, you have big nerd news.
Well, we both have nerd news. Because on Monday? They announced Doc Ock is back.
Yep.
And we're talking about Spider-Man 3. So Doc Ock from Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire, he's back. You got the actor's name right there?
No, I do not, but I can pull it up quickly.
Yeah, just type in Spider-Man 2 cast.
Alfred Molina.
Oh, there we go. He's from what I understand the most popular villain of that Spider-Man franchise.
I think it's also because Spider-Man 2 was the highest rated one, I believe. Everybody really liked that movie. It's rated as like one of the best sequels of all time.
I have a real soft spot for the first one.
Okay.
And they nailed the Green Goblin in that one.
Yeah, they did.
I like the actor a lot. I'm trying to think of his name. William Dafoe.
Yes.
I heard they were trying to get William Dafoe, and I assume it just didn't go well.
Yeah, I can see it. He's in high demand nowadays, actually, though.
Is
I don't know, what else is Alfred Molina in?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't think of anything. I mean, it's a good movie.
Oh, it's a great movie.
That scene on the bus
Yeah.
where his mask gets knocked off, and then the New Yorkers surround him.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that scene? Joey Diaz.
Yes,
is one
Joey
of those
Diaz
guys.
is in it, yeah. He gets center stage on the camera for a brief second.
I don't know how he got that role, but just him talking to the guy with 8 arms. Doc Ock.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, so he's in it. Jamie Foxx is confirmed to be in it, and he played Electro in the second Amazing Spider-Man.
So what I see they're doing is, so Tobey Maguire is going to be in it. He's got a villain.
He has not officially signed on yet, though. They're finalizing the deal. So I think it is set in stone. It's just a matter. He's probably asking for a decent amount of money.
I'm getting really bad flashbacks because I love these 3 films, the Tobey Maguire ones.
Yes.
They were so close to making a 4th one.
I
They
know.
had everyone on board.
I know they did.
Kirsten Dunst, and that's where they were with Kirsten Dunst. She was gonna do it. They're finalizing the deal.
I think didn't they have the deal down actually, and then they canceled everything.
Well, that's what happened. Everyone else was signed up. She was getting ready to sign, and they reboot it.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And nothing against Andrew Garfield's ones, but it's like if I could have had a Spider-Man 4, that would have been the first time ever that they had a 4-movie superhero trilogy.
And then I forget who was the villain supposed to be
For the 4th one?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't want to make any like false claims and stuff, and
I don't know. Sam Raimi's a visionary,
yeah,
so I hope they get him involved in some aspect of it.
have him be like a producer or something.
Producer or screw it. I don't. Who directed the other 2 Spider-Man movies now? Let Sam Raimi direct it.
Mysterio was supposed to be the 4th villain.
Which I think they killed with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
So I can't really complain about that.
He's actually in the second Spider-Man movie. So the guy who is Mysterio.
What Spider-Man franchise?
The Tobey Maguire one.
He's
So
in Spider-Man too.
Yeah, you know the guy that takes the tickets at the door and stuff, and he tells Tobey Maguire like, "Oh, you're late," blah blah blah.
Mhm.
Kind of gives him crap. I think that guy was supposed to be Mysterio in it's not in the 4th movie.
I'm trying to think of that actor's name. I think you got some characters mixed up because the guy ripping tickets is the same guy that was the wrestling announcer in the first one. He's just friends with Sam Raimi, so he gets put in all these movies.
Yeah.
But so let's list out the characters that are already confirmed. We have Doc Ock.
Yep.
Like you said, Electro.
Yep.
We are now going to have 3 Spider-Men.
Yep. Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, Tom Holland. Once Tobey Maguire does sign.
I heard Emma Stone.
Kirsten
Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst, yep. So that's Mary Jane from the Tobey Maguire, and then Gwen Stacy from the Andrew Garfield. And then the guy who plays Daredevil apparently signed on. Christian Cox?
Charlie Cox.
Charlie Cox.
Daredevil's amazing, but just let Spider-Man and Charlie Cox do their thing. Are we allowed to say Charlie Cox on YouTube?
Yes, we're fine. We're talking about chickens.
Just Charlie Cox. This podcast sponsored by Charlie Cox. He's just a fan.
Oh, man.
All right. There goes our sponsorship money.
Yep.
So, I mean, I love the Daredevil series. Just let Tom Holland and Daredevil have a solo adventure.
I haven't seen the Daredevil. It's a show, right? On Netflix?
Yeah. It's already been canceled, though.
Yeah.
For no reason other than Disney wants it back.
Do you think that it's going to be a continuation of what happened for his character, or you think they're starting fresh with his character in this?
I think they have to link it somehow.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing an alternative universe. But if Charlie Cox does this is the first time Marvel has put the TV shows together with the movies.
Yes.
Not including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
Where they have like a run-in every once in a while.
Yeah.
My thing, man, there's just too much going on.
So, I understand your fear with this, that too much is going on.
Not to cut you off. This was my fear 14 characters ago that haven't been confirmed.
Yeah.
I was saying that long before we got Gwen Stacy, MJ, Doc Ock, and Charlie Cox. I was saying that when we just had three Spider-Men.
But just because they have the guy who plays Doc Ock in it doesn't mean he's going to be a villain.
So he's kind of a complicated character because if you remember that movie, he wasn't really a villain.
Yeah.
He was more misunderstood.
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
And that was kind of like not a trope, but that's what Sam Raimi liked to do.
Yeah.
It's just like, you're not really a villain, just like, these things happen to you.
Well, and the chip was like controlling him.
Yeah.
Which, after it got shattered, and then, so what I think they're doing is they're going to set up a Sinister Six.
So remember they tried that at the end of Spider-Man 2 with Garfield? That was the last shot. It was like a 2.5 hour movie. I don't blame you for not remembering the end.
I didn't. Okay. I'm going to come forward. I never saw it.
You're getting kicked off this podcast.
Saw the first one. You think Joe has seen either one of those? Because he hasn't.
No, but Joe's witty enough that he can get away with it. And he'll say something about some book from 1975 that a different group of nerds really likes that we don't know about, so that's where his credit is. But anyway, so they're not bad movies.
Yeah.
It's just, that's take on Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's so cool.
Yeah.
He's not a nerdy kid, he's just like this cool emo kid.
Yeah, I don't like that Spider-Man.
I think Kevin Smith says it best on his podcast, where he's just like, Andrew Garfield's just too fuckable. You don't want a handsome, glittery vampire as your Spider-Man.
I'm super excited though. My guy, Tobey Maguire's back. That's my Spider-Man.
Well, that's everyone's Spider-Man.
He's.
I don't think anybody's going like, oh man, I can't wait for Andrew Garfield. You know?
No. I think a lot of people are on the Tom Holland bandwagon.
It's not a bandwagon if you're going on your third movie. So, The funny thing about Andrew Garfield is he didn't want to do Spider-Man anymore.
Yeah.
So he was asked to speak at like a Sony event, and he got up there and just badmouthed Sony to the point they canceled Spider-Man.
Oh, that's why it got canceled? I thought it was due to the bad reviews that Spider-Man 2 got. Or The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
No, because even if Spider-Man gets bad reviews, like so many people go see it, it sells.
Yeah.
My thing is like, instead of doing this, I wish they'd just do Spider-Man 4. Have 2 different movies that don't interconnect.
Yeah.
And just let me get a Spider-Man movie once a year.
I'm surprised that they didn't try doing Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 3, and then a Spider-Man 4 Sam Raimi one, and then do the third Tom Holland Spider-Man, but all of them kind of set up for the Spider-Verse thing at the end of the movie, at the end of each of their respective movies.
It just seems like a lot of moving parts. My thing is like, you could put out Spider-Man 4, there's no guarantee it sells.
Yeah. Now you're saying it's going to be too much.
There's too much.
But Infinity War and Endgame had like 40 heroes.
Right. But you had 20 movies leading up to that moment.
Yes.
Right now, we're rocking 3.
3 plus... We have another 3 plus 2.
I'm going to skip that part, Marco, and it's just going to be 8. The number you're looking for is 3 plus 3 plus 2. 8.
Hey.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Sesame Street. Elmo is back for revenge.
Kindergarten math at its finest. As you can see, the Pittsfield Public School System served me well.
I can't say too much because both my middle school and elementary school don't exist anymore. I am a high school closed down for my education is not existing.
Berkshire County on absolute fire with the education system.
Okay, so that's where I stand. You said you had a different take on all these characters?
So I don't think they're all going to have like prominent roles in this one. I think they're going to get introduced and they're setting up a bigger fourth Spider-Man movie.
Tobey Maguire hates being associated with Spider-Man since they ended.
Yeah.
Garfield didn't want to do it anymore. I don't understand. Is it nostalgia? Is Disney just writing blank checks? What's the draw to come back for these guys?
It's obvious. It's definitely the check for these guys. But I also think like, I think Garfield, like you were saying how he was shitting on Sony and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Sony had a clear vision for that Spider-Man series, the Amazing Spider-Man.
He's a big comic book nerd too, before he got the role. I don't know, man. Spider-Man 3 had issues. Anytime you have more than one or two villains,
yep,
it's just too much. So it's just like,
I'll
why
give you
risk
that.
it? My other thing is like Tom Holland is killing it. Those movies are doing well. He's part of the bigger universe. Why bring back the old Spider-Man? We don't need it. We don't need it, Marco.
Because they saw how well Spider-Verse did, the cartoon.
Right.
And I think we're trying to recreate that in live action.
Tom Holland, I think, is barely 21. As long as they keep Tom Holland happy. Oh, good. Brandon with ages again. What is he, 45?
No, it's not 45. 24.
Okay. So he's 24. Tobey Maguire didn't play Spider-Man, I think, until his late 20s.
Yeah, it'd be late 20s because I think he's 45 now, and the last movie came out, 12 years ago? So he was 33 at that point.
So if we keep Tom Holland happy, we try and find a way to get Sony to get a better deal for Disney, and we can put him as the leader of the Avengers. That's what I want. Me bringing back the old Spider-Man at this point, just like, why piss off Tom Holland? He's carrying this franchise. He's doing great. You know what I talked about, probably about 1 or 2 episodes in? Kraven the Hunter. Give me Spider-Man and Daredevil take on Kraven the Hunter, and I go home happy. I don't need this, Marco.
First off, I don't think Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man lives through these movies that he's going to be in.
If they bring back Tobey Maguire just to kill him, that's what they did with Han Solo in 7, right? They're just like,
yeah, and I cried in the movie theater, so don't bring this pain back.
They're just like, hey, remember this kid from your childhood? You know how cool he is older? Can't wait to see him, and he's dead. If they do that with, what's Tobey Maguire going to do? Push Peter Parker, Tom Holland out of the way of a train, get hit by a bus?
Yes.
I don't know, man. I don't need this. It's too big of a swing. No pun intended.
Where are you going to...
Spider-Man swing?
You forgot... Oh, I thought you were going with a miss was the next part, but okay.
No, my thing is just like, you're doing great. I get if you want to do the Spider-Verse. It's just too big of a swing. We don't need it. The Marvel movies print money.
Yeah.
Why take a big risk? You know what this is? This is Sony dicking around. Because if this burns down, because Sony can't make a good movie. The only good movies they make are when they team up with Disney using their own characters. So Sony's getting too big for their britches. They're dicking around, Marco, and they're going to ruin Spider-Man again. We almost lost Tom Holland a year ago when they couldn't figure out a deal.
And honestly, one of them that big of a loss to me, so.
I swear I'll throat punch you. Joe's not here to move this conversation up. See, Spider-Man's my guy. Spider-Man's the character. I grew up. I love the cartoon.
Yeah.
I love the character.
I like Spider-Man too, but I want to see Miles Morales.
I mean, yeah, bring Miles Morales in. Why not? You got everyone else in this fucking movie. I apologize for my language today. It's kind of off the rail.
Also, you said, let's see Brandon again with ages. They wouldn't get that because that's on the football show that we tried making.
Oh. We'll release that clip just for that moment.
And cut over to it.
Okay, so I guess we're agreeing to disagree. You know what I hope? I hope these are all rumors and it just doesn't happen.
Everybody sits down in Spider-Man 3. There's no sign of any of these characters.
Tom Holland is even in it. That's where they just they introduce Spider-Gwen out of nowhere. Tom Holland's in the first 10 minutes in the trailer.
Oh man, that'd be great.
I mean, if you give me Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen, that's cool, but give her her own movie. So this kind of leads into the next part that we are starting to talk about. So the Spider-Man universe, because Sony owns the villains and Spider-Man and rents them out to Disney. So we've seen Venom. What do you think of the Venom movie?
So you know what's funny is
If you tell me you haven't seen the Venom movie.
No, I saw it.
Okay.
In theaters by myself.
I saw it in theaters with friends.
Oh, aren't you cool?
Two rows behind Marco.
That's not possible because I was in the way back seat. But I saw it. People like they didn't get great reviews from critics, but like actual like audience members really liked it, or kind of like were just like, yeah, it was good. Like I watched it, I enjoyed it. It wasn't like terrible in my opinion.
But do you have any desire to ever watch it again?
No, not to watch it again.
And that's my thing, where it's just like, so it's an okay movie.
It had a good setup with the whole Carnage thing at the end.
I feel like it was rushed.
It definitely was.
They're just like, there was no mention of Carnage, and then they're like, oh, by the way, come see a second one because Carnage is here.
But they have what is his name?
Bane.
Yeah. Whoever plays
Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah, Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Okay, that's not the wrestler. Who's the wrestler?
You're talking about the Hardy brothers.
Okay.
Jeff and Matt.
Okay, so neither one of them's Tom.
Nope.
Okay, cool.
You're really stuck on that Tom name. You're like, who do I know that's named Tom?
Oh, Tom and Jerry. It's the cat.
Okay, so but again, the Venom movie it was okay. It was good. The CGI was amazing, especially after the Topher Grace Venom take. I was happy that
the CGI was good, but I still have a problem with Sony CGI here and there. Okay. There's still like there's still times where it doesn't look fluid, and it kind of you can see where the CGI is in some places. Like you can definitely notice that it's not like a part of the real world.
Yeah.
Like
it's so weird that this 19-foot spider hybrid alien isn't part of the real world. Like, how did you figure that out, Marco? When his arm's shooting people through convenience stores and like he's getting shot and not dying and the tongue comes out. What part of that you're like, oh, this isn't real? Guys, did you know we're watching a movie? Excuse me, sir, I'd like my $8 back because this giant...
No. That screen is a portal to another dimension. You don't say anything other than that.
So anyways, I think it's an improvement from the Topher Grace take.
Yes.
And it's
my god, Topher Grace, that was a interesting Spider-Man.
Well, he was just so popular from that 70s show, so I get why they do it.
Yeah.
That guy was supposed to be Peter Parker's bully, and he's smaller than Tobey Maguire. And he's just turned into like a jealous reporter where it's just like, no, Eddie Brock's big.
Let's not forget, Tobey Maguire's a vegan too, so...
Please, Marco, finish your thought.
No, I was just saying, it's impressive that he was bigger than him.
Topher Grace doesn't look like he can, like, walk sometimes. We're taking a shot at Eric Foreman for no reason. I think he's delightful.
Didn't he leave that show?
Yep.
Like the last season?
The last 2 seasons, I think he left. I have that box set. I grew up on watching that 70s show.
Look at this creepy smile.
I'm trying to think, he's going to be on a show soon.
He's going to be old now.
How dare people age?
Oh, he's 42. Why is Mark Campbell right next to him? People want him to play a young Luke Skywalker?
No, it's Sebastian Stan or nothing.
Oh, I know.
But anyway, sorry, we're still on Venom. So that's where I stand with Venom. So it's like they make Venom 2, they bring in Carnage. Mm-hmm. It's just like the story doesn't do anything for me. I hear rumors that they want to add Spider-Man to it.
Yeah.
So what was we didn't talk about it yet. So this leads us right into Morbius, the Living Vampire. Mm-hmm. I just found that like 5 minutes before the show started, and the trailer came out 4 days ago. How come no one's talking about it?
I just don't think people are excited. I think one, Jared Leto, I think is a hard guy to get behind in terms of movies. I don't think like. I think also a big problem is his outing as the Joker. People weren't pleased with it, and I think it ruined his reputation.
I think that definitely didn't help. I don't know if the rumors are true or not, where he's leaving dead mice in people's lockers and like going into character. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh yeah, to get what, 5 minutes of screen time?
But we watched the Japanese trailer of Morbius. Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with the character at all?
Not really.
So it's a Spider-Man. I guess you call him an anti-hero, depending on which comic it is.
Yeah.
He's called the Living Vampire because back in the 80s, there was a rule at Marvel Comics you couldn't have undead characters.
Okay.
They didn't want zombies. They didn't want vampires. So whoever created him just decided to call him an undead vampire to get around the rule. But my thing is just like when they announced it, it's like I'm not excited for that character on its own. Like if he's not fighting Spider-Man or fighting with Spider-Man, if Spider-Man's not there, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And this one, he's got a rare blood disease.
Mhm.
Okay. So the blood disease is going to turn him into Morbius. They got him as an anti-hero. Venom's an anti-hero. How many anti-heroes are you going to have?
All of them.
You have a bunch of anti-heroes and they're just heroes. There's just a bunch of people being not heroes together.
That's I don't know how they would be able to bring Venom into this world with how his character was set up in that.
They're talking about they're doing Venom 2 and Tom Holland's going to be in it and then he's not. So I don't know how they're doing what DC did and they're building it wrong.
Yeah.
They're trying to make that big group movie too soon.
They're going to have Tom Holland in 2 different cinematic universes, the Spider-Man cinematic universe and then the Marvel cinematic universe.
The issue is the Sony one is going to screw us hard in the Marvel one. Because Sony like tries to be dark and I don't need it, man. And so did you notice at the end of that trailer though, who was in it?
No.
Michael Keaton.
And he played the Vulture.
The Vulture.
Yeah.
So is that the Vulture? Is that the Vulture in the Morbius movie? Because if you're putting the Marvel Cinematic Universe together with this Sony one, I'm not for it, Marco. I love Michael Keaton. I loved what he did in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. What do I need the Vulture for? He's in prison right now. He's in prison.
Hey, he could have gotten out by now.
He could have gotten out, but
We
he's
don't
like
know.
a construction guy. So is he playing the Vulture? Is he the construction guy? Is it a prequel meeting? Is he Batman? Are you telling me he's playing Batman again?
What happens though if this movie happens before the events of the first Spider-Man? So like he knows him before that too.
So if you remember that first Spider-Man movie, he was a construction guy.
Yeah.
The Avengers took everything, then the government took all the work.
Yeah.
So he starts stealing shit.
Yeah. I remember that.
So it's just Morbius talking to a construction worker?
Yeah, I guess.
Pass.
I guess it's improbable.
Hey, what are you building there? A building. What's wrong with you? I have a blood disease. Marco, if we made that trailer a drinking game, every time he said blood disease, we take a shot, I'd have been tanked halfway through it. Marco, just for the shits and giggles, sorry guys, it's been a long week. I apologize for the language. But just for shits and giggles, Marco, what do you think about vampires? Name one vampire movie I should go watch right now.
I want your blood. Ooh.
Not for me. But are you good with Spider-Man? Because this is a perfect segue.
Am I good with Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Like with what they're doing?
No, with this conversation. Like if we move
Yeah,
on.
I'm fine.
Okay, so you know what? Who does play a vampire? Adam Sandler. We're kicking nerd news hard, guys. Hotel Transylvania 1, 2, and I believe there's a third one.
You know what? I forgot that he played a vampire in that.
Hey, that's
he
what-
plays Count Dracula.
That's what.
And guess who didn't? What?
I didn't see those movies. Did he play Count Dracula?
Hold on, I have this on my.
While you're doing that, who's the cereal with a vampire on it? Count Chocula?
Count Dracula.
I was about to say Count Dracula's probably.
You know
Open
what's
source
funny is
by
I
now.
haven't seen one of those movies.
Well, yeah, Marco, because they started coming out when you were in high school.
Okay, and I still watch the Pixar movies. We've gone over this before.
I feel like you just want to say that once an episode. And I like Wally. I'm sensitive. I want a Netflix and chill with a nice girl that likes to talk to my mom.
Hey, you know what? I just need somebody that I can lean my head on and cry into their arms.
I
okay?
want a new mom because my mom is being pretty mean lately. Joe comes back for 1 week and the room turns on Marco.
The room. There's only 2 of us.
So you ready for this?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler movies. I'm a big fan. Grew up on them. Even some of his last
like
couple
his
years. Yeah. Hubie Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
That's the most recent one. Became like the top watched movie on Netflix.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I enjoyed it.
It felt more like a classic Adam Sandler movie where he plays a character that is not the brightest individual in the world.
Right, and you have to say that because he won't say what it is. The idea that he called him Hubie just so people could call him Puby for 2 hours. He probably thought of the word puby to call the character before he thought
did.
of the real word.
Yeah, he definitely did.
So rumors broken out that 2 of Adam Sandler movies are getting sequels.
Okay.
Which kind of makes sense because if you watch Hubie Halloween, he does a lot of nods to his old movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, you ready for the first one?
Okay.
The Waterboy. The rumor is that Adam Sandler returns as the Waterboy to teach a new generation how to be a waterboy.
Jesus. Okay.
I'll say it if you don't want to. What a bad idea.
Yeah.
If anything, you do the Waterboy, but him at college or him at the NFL.
So is he just going back to playing roles of people that aren't the brightest individuals?
That's what people have been asking for, but I don't think people know what they want.
Can I try to take a guess at what the second one is?
Yeah.
Big Daddy.
No.
Okay.
Imagine that.
I thought that would be like a cool one if you saw both characters older.
It's Cole Sprouse has to come back to play that character again.
He's trying to babysit like a 25-year-old man.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Swiping left, swiping right? Why don't you go talk to the girl? So this one, I believe you mentioned you might not have seen this one. The second one is Billy Madison.
I've seen Billy Madison.
Okay, so Billy Madison's great.
So he's taken 2 of his biggest hits, probably.
I would say fan favorites.
And then Happy Gilmore's in that mix. All 3 of those movies, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, and Waterboy, all came out within a 3-year span.
That was early, Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Because you look at like Going Overboard, that's like a movie you see free. I really don't count, like Airheads kind of. Coneheads he really wasn't in. So you start with Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, even like The Wedding Singer, Waterboy. He had some bangers. But here's the thing, man. You can do The Wedding Singer again because he's a wedding singer. There's always going to be weddings to sing at.
Yeah.
You can get Drew Barrymore involved.
Well, they're trying to make another movie together.
I heard that, but that's just because she plays the love interest in like 3 movies with him.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Do that again. Or have him team up with Jen Aniston for another, Did you watch that one on Netflix? They're a married couple, and they...
No, I did not watch it.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's just weird, because about 3/4 of the way through the movie, it goes from a murder mystery, and they turn it into an action movie. So Adam Sandler as the lead in an action movie is interesting. So that's my thing. It's just like, he chose 2 movies.
And he's not getting any younger.
Well, that's the thing, where it's just like, okay, I get you want to revisit the characters. It worked with Borat. It's working with a bunch of people right now, but why those 2?
Yeah.
So those were rumors right now, but the thing is that was before he started Happy Madison Productions.
Mm-hmm.
So he might not have the rights to it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Okay, so I'm trying to think. You want to talk about movies he could do sequels to? Easily?
I don't know, it's even hard to think about like some of these just because they all kind of have like a dead end.
So...
Like, they're not really open-ended. Like, I didn't think there was going to be a Grown Ups 2, and they made a Grown Ups 2.
3.
Are they coming out with a third one?
Oh, no, that's my pitch.
So I was going to say, because at the end of Grown Ups 2, they kind of try to set one up, but I don't think it will happen because of Cameron Boyce.
I think it depends how they want to do it.
Yeah.
My thing is, like, if you I've seen Grown Ups 1 once, Grown Ups 2 once. I don't have any desire to watch them again.
I've watched Grown Ups 1 multiple times.
3 times. And then I put Pink Floyd's
That's
Dark Side of the
how I
Moon.
envision myself when I become a middle-aged man.
I find it just, like, sad, because, like, those are, like, the funniest people of my childhood, and I just don't find those movies as funny. Like, they're not bad. They're good. They're not bad.
They're all right.
So, that one...
It honestly more seemed like all those guys wanted to just go on vacation. They just made a movie while they were at it.
Have you ever seen a movie called Couples Retreat? It's a Vince Vaughn movie. That's pretty much what happened. Him and Jon Favreau just chose the most beautiful place in the world to shoot a movie, and then they took all their friends. But then you got like Hotel Transylvania. You can print those one out every year.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know what else they would do.
Like even Longest Yard.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Get Nelly back out on the football field?
Yeah.
Nelly was a rapper in the early 2000s, and he was in that movie as the running back. I just wanted to let you know.
Didn't you talk about Nelly with one of my clients?
Yeah, one of your clients stopped my workout, had me take out my headphones to say...
That wasn't Nelly.
to say, you know who Nelly is, as you guys are listening to Shaggy. So yeah.
And the worst part is I had no idea what was going on.
Completely lost because, again, Nelly, no offense to Nelly, if you're listening, country grammar changed my life. Not really. Sorry. It's funnier if you know what country grammar is. That was his album.
Oh, okay.
That was his big album. We can't listen to music on here, can we?
No, and Kid Cudi is supposedly, or he's dropping his newest album soon.
Do you listen to Kid Cudi?
It's Man on the Moon 3. I like Kid Cudi. Pursuit of Happiness may be the only thing I know from him, but I like Kid Cudi.
Sorry. As far as new music goes, I know The Weeknd,
Okay.
Machine Gun Kelly, his pop punk stuff. And I'm talking to the person that doesn't know music, so this is
No,
podcast.
Machine Gun Kelly attacked Eminem for no reason, and then Eminem had to give him the hammer.
Yeah, Eminem tanked his album. His album comes out, no one buys it because they took Eminem's side.
Yep.
All right, we gonna keep rolling with nerd news?
What else do we have in the nerd news?
Oh, I got you covered. Breaking news coming out of Japan. Mario World.
Oh, yes!
Turns out it is super small. Remember we looked at those pictures and they were tiny? It's because it's a section of their Universal theme park. It's not its own Mario Park thing. So we were like,
we thought it was going to be this whole world.
Right, we thought it was going to be like Disneyland, but Mario.
Why did that? But they're calling it Nintendo World? Like, that makes me think there would be multiple Nintendo assets there, and then, like, Mario would just be a section of that entire world.
No. Because Japan doesn't answer to us. So what happened is it's their Universal Studios Japan, and it's pretty much like Harry Potter World at Universal, or Star Wars Land at Disney. So hopefully we can get money for those tickets back, because once we buy the bumper cars, the Mario Karts, and it's probably, imagine if we get there and it's just a kids section, and we're
There's not going to be anything there.
Just like 3 rides.
That's such a letdown.
Hey. At least we found out before we bought the tickets.
You know what would be really cool is like if they had an obstacle course, like an American Ninja Warrior thing, but it was like kind of like a Mario map that you could do at like one of these places. Like that would be a cool thing to have people do. Have like you know, maybe like you put 4 people up there and they race each other to the end or something.
Have you ever been to a theme park?
Yes.
You see how out of shape those people are?
I know. That's
you
the
got
funny
people in
part.
hover rounds and you
That's
want
the
them
funny
jumping
part.
on Koopas
That's the funny part.
and throwing turtle shells.
Because I will win. I'm getting that big old Pikachu that's up on that wall.
Well, that's the thing with Nintendo World, where it's just like Nintendo has a stake in Pokemon.
Yep.
So Nintendo World, you could have Mario here, Pokemon here, Zelda here, and you could just build it off of your game. So it's possible. It's doable. But
like how you're drawing like a whole like box around our nose.
Oh no, I just got notes going and then I fidget.
Yeah.
So anyways, Mario Land, Nerds in the Gym Go to Japan is put on hold. So we get a Pokemon
Let's go to
Land.
the Olympics though. Let's do that. Let's all get vaccinated and go to the Olympics.
Way to take a stance. Way to take a Nerds podcast and try and make it a political.
What, you think they would let us go in unvaccinated?
Marco, we can't even leave Massachusetts. Connecticut and New Jersey don't even want us. You know how bad it is when New Jersey says no to us? Oh, sorry, your video game friend lives in New Jersey.
No.
No?
Wait, dude. Oh, wait, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
now I know what you're talking about.
Friend!
No.
Video game friend! Oh, I'm a big fan, friend! Oh, that was a cool headshot. How'd you do that? But again, it's Marco too, so it's just like, hey man, cool shot.
Yeah. Hey, I think I've been doing better with my inflection, especially with my promo videos I've been making.
I enjoy them. Joe hates them.
Did you see the one I did today?
I didn't yet. I had that presentation going on earlier.
Yeah, okay, that's right, yeah. But you didn't like my Amazon one? I thought that was great. Yeah, check us out on Amazon, guys.
Is it just this on Amazon? So we can have Amazon Echo?
Yeah.
Oh, can we sell merch on Amazon?
I don't think so.
No. We always had some ideas for shirts. We should put them up on that site.
Yeah, we had ideas for shirts, and then Joe goes and makes shirts before we do.
Yeah, note to self. So all right, moving on. You ready for some Mandalorian talk?
Oh man, I've been waiting for this for a long, long time.
All right. So first thing happens, click on the episode, 33 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, oh, I'm going to go to bed before 1 a.m. today.
I was very disappointed when I saw the 33 because in actuality was at like maybe 28 minutes if you take in consideration the credits.
The recap, the credits,
Mm-hmm.
and the theme song, yeah. So, I didn't think they'd get to The Rock that soon. I thought they were going to
They went there instantly.
Instantly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Mando got Baby Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of get that vibe Baby Yoda knows what's going on now.
Yeah.
Not crazy where he's like, Grogu?
Mm-hmm.
Grogu? You know his name. Stop interrupting him. So puts him on the rock.
You think that's what Joe does with his kid now? Whenever Aurelia, like he says her name, she just like looks over at him and he just keeps going back and forth.
Oh, I don't know.
Definitely what happens. He's pulling a Mandalorian right now.
So, in typical Grogu fashion, gets on the rock, nothing happens.
Mm-hmm.
Gets on the rock, nothing happens. Oh shit, we gotta go. Something happens.
Oh.
So
He was sitting there meditating. He was sending out the signal and everything.
So he sent out the signal for a good amount of the episode.
Yep.
Until danger came and then it stopped.
Yep.
And you, good on you for calling it. Those stormtroopers, what are they called?
Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers. So they become canon.
Yep. Or Dark Troopers or Shadow? It's Dark Troopers, I believe.
And you said they're not people? They're
robots.
They're droids?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
they're Dark Troopers.
And they can fly.
Mm-hmm.
I assume...
You saw that? Did you get the Iron Man vibes with how they were flying and the camera shots? John Favreau, we knew you'd do it.
John Favreau's just like, I invented this.
Yeah.
So, not to dominate it though. So you're watching it, Grogu's on the rock, and all of a sudden you see Slave 1 show up in the background.
I got up out of my seat when I saw that happen. I'm
did.
not going to lie.
I gotta be the most annoying person to watch this show with, because you know what I did? Again, I was like,
So I went, oh my god, and I stood up from my chair and then just stood there and stared at the TV. Then he goes back to go get Yoda or Grogu, and Grogu is like in the force meditation thing. Then he gets blown back. And then he goes and does the search, and then he's getting shot at, and then Boba Fett walks up, unmasks himself or unhoods himself, and I was like, oh my god. I said I think I said oh my god like 8 times, and I paused it and I was like, oh my god, this is happening. And then I was still standing up. I was super excited, and then all the action goes down obviously at this point.
So with Slave 1 and Slave 2, that's the name of Boba and Jango Fett's ships, respectively. I get them mixed
Just
up.
Slave 1, I think.
Oh, did they have the same ship?
Yeah.
So anyway, so you see that ship, and it's just like, it's a big part of my childhood because of the prequels that you saw it in episode 2. And then I think I had the Lego set too.
Yeah.
Or you see the Lego set. So the idea that he got his ship back just made me feel good. Because right now, like, Boba Fett isn't the villain. I know he was never really pegged as a bad guy.
Yeah.
He was a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
So he shows up. He just wants his armor.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna have 2 good guys team up. They have to fight each other first. They do. I forgot about the sniper from season 1.
She died. Well, kind of.
And then she's half android now or something.
Well, did you see the intro scene of the recap? So that guy who comes over and touches her body at the end ends up being Boba Fett. That's why she said, "And my destiny was left up to Boba Fett or whatever," where he helps her live.
I think she's a fun character. She doesn't really move the needle one way or another for me.
Yeah. Well,
I forgot about her.
I saw people making a comparison between Boba Fett and her, and then Jango Fett and the bounty hunter he got to kill Padme in episode 2.
Yep.
So that's like, I think that's what they're trying to do, is kind of make those parallels between the 2 characters, father and son.
So Boba Fett, I just don't. He's living on Tatooine. Somehow he doesn't know the other guy has his armor till he sees Mando take the armor. I guess is what's going on, because otherwise he could have just taken his armor, taken his ship, and been done with it.
Yeah.
So it's cool that they're doing this all on Tatooine. I know I'm butchering that.
Tatooine.
I had the N. Tatooine.
Yeah.
I had to record a bunch of stuff for school. Turns out I say a bunch of words wrong.
I've always noticed Tatooine.
Yeah, you correct me on that one too, but people get it.
Tatooine or whatever.
So anyway, so the armor, Somehow he survives the Sarlacc pit.
I'm surprised that he still had the Slave 1. I'm surprised nobody took that during the time he was gone.
Or that he's taken it back already.
Yeah.
So, or it's that well hidden. So he also has a honor code. And his honor code is he wants his dad's armor back. Because he's not a Mandalorian, but his father was a foundling.
His father was a foundling, which directly makes him a Mandalorian in a way. So here's the interesting part, is that because Jango Fett was a foundling, technically speaking, Boba Fett should be the leader of Mandalore. And so people are thinking that the way this season may end is he's going to inherit the Darksaber and be the leader of Mandalore.
So realistically, we could see Boba Fett team up with the other Mandalorian that we saw earlier. Someone on...
But I don't think he wants that life anyways. He's just a simple man trying to get his way through the universe or whatever.
I just don't know what he wants.
I don't think anybody knows what he wants.
Because he's a bounty hunter when we last see him in episode 6. And he goes into the Sarlacc pit.
Mm-hmm.
We don't really know anything about him.
No, not really. Other than that he hates Mace Windu.
Hates Mace Windu. He's a clone.
Mm-hmm. He's a clone that was made different from the other clones, though. He was made to age at a normal rate as for a human.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the other clones had accelerated aging.
To age quicker or slower?
Age quicker.
Really?
Yes.
They wanted him to age quicker?
So then they could get all the training and stuff quickly.
So it is trippy because good on Jon Favreau got the same actor.
Mm-hmm. So he's been wanting to come back to Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
When he got the call in 2019, he was super excited. He's like, I showed up for the meeting like super early and was just super excited to get in there.
Well, he also talked the voice he's doing where it's super... I guess people were confused by it. I wasn't confused. I was like, this sounds exactly like Boba Fett should. Because my thing is like, he's Boba Fett. He can talk about however he wants.
You got a better Boba Fett voice when you put the helmet on, though.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think people, it's just like, anytime somebody puts a helmet on in Star Wars, they sound different.
The guy survived the Sarlacc pit.
Yeah.
That changes somebody.
Yeah.
But it also shows how crazy that armor is.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably got separated from the armor at some point.
Also, Sarlacc pits take 1,000 years to digest stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It didn't go all the way through the system then.
Yeah.
Because it hasn't been 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. He could have... The only thing... Wasn't there a quote, the only thing that Sarlacc pit ever spit out? Was that something? No, I'll look that up later. But anyway, so when he's going after the stormtroopers, I feel like there's just a general hatred.
Because I think he felt kind of betrayed by the Empire in a way.
Okay.
But I'm not exactly sure. I can't... There's some clear, like, anger towards the Empire, and I don't know what it is.
I just don't know if it's the armor that just triggers him, because those were, at some level, his brothers.
Yeah.
And now they're not anymore, because they're just people.
Mm-hmm.
But that was some violent shit.
Oh, I know. Like, the armor was being shattered. I've never seen that before in Star Wars. Usually you hear that little plastic hit, and that's it. They were shattering it. They showed one guy's, like, head after, like, the faceplate.
Skulls, yeah.
Oh, my God. And also, that, thing that he had that he was using, so the actor that plays him, Timur something, he is from Australia, I believe, and that entire, that, like, I don't know what it's called, is, like, part of, like, some type of, I want to say, like, martial art thing they do down there.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it was, like, a very natural thing for him to be, like, swinging that around.
Yeah, I mean, sounds about right. It did look very good.
Yeah.
And then when it was time to get the armor back.
Yeah.
But he also, like I said, that honor code, because after everything's said and done, Baby Yoda gets taken. And Mando, I don't know if Mando's giving up, or he's just going on his own, or where his mindset's at, but he's like, all right, deal's done. Mm-hmm. And then Boba's code said, no. I said you both had to be safe.
Can we talk about how insane Boba was when he had the armor on?
Yeah.
His knee rockets, too, that scared them all away, I found that hilarious.
So when he bent over and he had that backpack rocket that we've never seen him use before in Star Wars, it's just like, you gotta remember, people saw that in the 80s.
Yeah.
And always just imagine, like, the toys.
Where are they getting these rockets from? Because the sheriff used it too.
Guess you just have it. But when he looks back with that graspy action hero voice, and he's just like, I was aiming for the left one.
yeah. I was aiming for the other one.
He's just like, he's Clint Eastwood is what he is.
Yeah.
He's a cowboy in Star Wars.
Oh, it was great.
But you got to remember, people that saw it in the 70s and 80s and had the action figures where that thing just exploded out of the back, you never saw it before. You can only imagine. So now we're here 40 years later.
So good.
And you're finally getting to see these. It's such good fan service.
Yeah.
So,
honestly, you know the scene in Iron Man where Iron Man like walks away from the explosion?
Mm-hmm.
They kind of did that with the sheriff earlier on in the season. I thought they should have saved that for like actual Boba Fett.
We could easily just take a shot for shot and put it side by side at some point with just Iron Man similarities of Star Wars. And I love it.
God damn it, Jon Favreau.
So Baby Yoda gets taken. Something I wanted to address was he's playing with the stormtroopers using the Force.
He's just toying around with them at that point.
I don't know if he's toying around with them or that's him actually trying to use the Force after hiding it for so long. Yeah. So there's that dark side to it. And then he's just like, Goth? Is that his name? Midian? Tarkington?
Goth. God, you have me messed up now.
Sorry.
Gosh.
The bad guy with the dark saber. He's just like, oh, no, let him go. Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon, okay.
All right, there we go. And he's just like, nope. And then it tires him out and he knows it. I just feel bad because we know he's been tortured.
Yeah.
So now he's back. And I know you have to put him in some sort of danger. But I've been spending this whole season like, don't let anything happen to him. Don't let anything happen to him.
So I don't think this show overall, like the entire series, won't have a happy ending.
I'm not getting that vibe. I think they save him and then the last scene will probably be whoever they decide is going to train him. So I feel like everyone wants Mace Windu. I just don't think we're going to get him.
No, so here's my thought process through this. A lot of these characters, by the end of the show, are going to have died. I think Mando's going to die, Baby Yoda gets taken, and I think they're going to be able to extract the Force from Baby Yoda, potentially killing him to create Snoke.
You're not going to kill the main character. What show is going to... What's this show going to be about in season 3 with no characters?
No. I'm talking like end of the show.
Oh, the show's never going to end, Marco.
Yes, it is.
Never going to end.
It has to end at some point.
25 seasons.
Yes, okay.
We're not going to outlive this show.
What is this, The Simpsons?
No, this is going to be like... It was called Gunsmoke. It was like an old TV Land show when I was growing up. It was on for like 25 years.
Really?
It was just a Western from back in the day.
That's what happened with TV shows back then. They just kept going.
Sometimes, yeah, like Cheers, 11 seasons. But there's also only three channels, so
yeah,
you got to kind of keep up with your audience. So, how many episodes we got left of The Mandalorian?
2, this week and next week.
I just don't know how they're going to do it.
They're going for Bill Burr's character this episode. Is that what you think happens?
I mean, that's what they set up, and it's funny because Bill Burr said he wasn't in it this season, so that'd be hilarious.
You know what's hilarious is he was on an interview with Barstool, and they're like, how did you get into Star Wars with all the, like, shit that you talk about them? He's like, you know what's funny is at a party, and Jon Favreau was there, he's like, hey, you want to do this, like, project with us? We're doing a Star Wars thing. He's like, do you know how many times I have shit on Star Wars? And Jon Favreau was like, yeah, listen to your podcast. I love it. It's like...
Well, it's so funny because they announced before Mandalorian was a thing that he was going to be in it.
Yeah.
So he was talking about how he was at a baseball game, and he goes, I get so much shit from people about everything, but these Star Wars nerds are so nice. They're always just like, hey, we're really excited. We don't know who you are, but we're really excited that you're going to be a part of this. He goes, I've been so mean to him for no reason. He goes, so I hope the geeks like it.
Yeah.
I know Joe talked last week about how he wasn't too crazy about that character and that whole episode. I like the character. I
love that episode, first of all.
It was a good episode.
Yeah. It had, like, when Mando starts hunting them down, I love that part of that episode. I thought it was so good.
It's straight out of an 80s Predator movie.
Oh, it's so good.
So I don't know how they're going to do it. We're only like 2 days away, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to have this void in my life.
I felt like such an idiot because we recorded the podcast last Friday.
Yeah.
And we were talking about chapter 4 or 15.
Yeah.
Or no, chapter 13 and everything. And chapter 14 literally released was out at that time.
Oh no!
And we weren't. It was December 4th, and we weren't talking about how Chapter 14 dropped.
That was a weird day because after that I went to work and you were like, "Oh, this episode's amazing" or something, and I was just like, "It's Friday."
So here's what happened.
The second we podcast, I think it's Tuesday.
So here's what happened is after we left and I went to the gym because I had a client coming in, I go there and I look at my phone and I was scrolling on Twitter and there's a thing from the Mandalorian Twitter and it was like Chapter 14 streaming now. I was like, wait, what? Instantly went to Disney Plus, played it, got through the 30 minutes, saw it, and I was like, oh my god. So, like, I have it there in my hand. Like, so, like, when I was standing up and, like, in the amazement, I had that foldable chair. I unfolded it, was sitting there. And I literally jumped up on my seat holding the phone in front of me. And then, like, right as soon as the episode finished, my client came in. And it was like I had to, like, calm down so quickly. I've never calmed down so quickly in my life. Because I was like, I can't be nerding out in front of my client right now.
That's funny.
That's not going to understand anything I'm talking about.
So I had to wait till after work to watch it, and you wanted so badly to talk about it. But Joe has like this restraint. He'll wait 3 days.
I don't know.
Or for a while he was doing 2 episodes.
I don't know how he was doing it.
Especially he's got nothing going on. He can't move his leg, and he's just like, yeah, I guess I'll just wait 2 weeks.
And I think you guys didn't believe me that it was like a super good episode at first.
As soon as you start saying things like this is amazing, I dismiss you. Not because I don't trust you, but because I don't want my mind to start thinking like, what is Marco like? Well, Marco's been talking about Boba Fett this, and then I can piece it together because you and I spend a good amount of time together.
Yeah.
So if I dismiss you, then I can come back the next day and be like, oh, that was amazing.
Yeah.
At the second I go, oh, really? Then my mind starts working. So I almost have to shit on you and shut you down so I can shut myself down.
It's probably one of the best episodes in television history I've ever seen.
But we also got Wonder Woman coming up.
When's that coming out?
Christmas.
Okay.
So, HBO Max, they announced the movies we talked about last
Mm-hmm.
week, then immediately announced there's no more free trials. And then AMC movie theaters are trying to do like a hard negotiation with Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Try and get them back.
Oh, man.
So I'm so excited. I love Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. If this does well, game changer. Movie theaters might not come back for years.
Yeah. I just don't know how do they make all the money back for the movie.
They got to change their price point.
Yeah.
And you always talk about that technology that the Mandalorian uses. That's why, like, we're talking about Spider-Man 3. We could easily... I would rather just do Tom Holland have 12 episodes, an hour each, and him go on adventures with Daredevil. They have that.
I never even thought about that. How will, like, this affect filming for future movies? Like, how will future movies be affected by all this? Because if movie theaters don't survive, there's a lot of places that are just going to be...
It's a huge industry.
Yeah.
So we're in Massachusetts, Berkshire County. Marco mentioned it earlier. Obi-Wan Kenobi's filming in Boston.
I know. Should we go sabotage?
Sabotage? I love you, Ian McGregor! I also love, what part of Boston are they filming in that looks anything like Star Wars? I've been to Boston many a times. It does not look like Star Wars.
Isn't he on Tatooine at this point?
It's like... Unless, like, for some reason I always associate Obi-Wan Kenobi with going to the underworlds, where it's just like the drug dealers they don't call drug dealers, and the slavers. So unless they're using Boston for that,
I have no idea. Because I always got the vibe that he never left Tatooine once he was there.
So I think that was the initial story.
But now they're changing it however they feel like.
Well, yeah, because they got 30 years, and it's just like we want to do an Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
I think there's only like 19 years between episode 3 and 4.
You're right. I don't know. Luke Skywalker went from being an infant to whatever age he was in the first one.
Yeah.
That amount of time.
Baby bitch.
And again, they have to. This is the only part because like, say Obi-Wan Kenobi's 35 at the end of 3, they have to turn him into a 65-year-old man with Luke. So I'm sure they'll find a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
But I'm hearing that the Obi-Wan Kenobi series isn't going to be a multi-year thing. That's going to be like a one-off, one season.
That's what they're saying until it racks in a bunch of views, and then they're like, "Oh, we gotta."
What I always liked about Ian McGregor is like he never shied away from it.
Yeah.
Even after the prequels got shit on,
Mm-hmm.
he always just said he had a fun time with it. he enjoyed it. He liked being in the robes, and that he'd do it again.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's kind of cool that all this time later he gets to come back.
Yeah, yeah. Hayden Christensen, on the other hand, he's
Hayden
still
Christian-
living on his farm in Canada.
I don't blame him. He got a lot of hate.
Yep, that is true.
So yeah, so that's the Mandalorian talk.
I have no idea where the show's going at this point.
For this episode, you mean, or the Mandalorian show?
For the Mandalorian.
Oh, I mean, it's so wide open, and with only 2 episodes left.
Do you think like next episode is like they're trying to get the crew together, and then the last episode is like the fight for Grogu?
So I heard some interesting rumors. I heard one where in order to get on the ship, Mando's gonna have to take off his armor and helmet and put away his past to save Grogu, because obviously no one knows what he looks like.
Yeah.
So he can sneak into places. I heard that as a rumor.
That's actually a really good one.
I mean, it makes sense.
You know what I think? I do believe Bill Burr is not in this show.
He could easily show up and he'd be dead.
Show up, be dead, or they get misled to a different character or something.
Easily.
And then that's why, because they're trying to find him so then they can figure out, 1, where the Star Destroyer is, 2, how to get on it.
Mm-hmm. Or everyone loves that UFC fighter. So this could be her stopping them.
Yeah.
Or it could be anything, man. They could get on the ship this time. And then the last scene will be him going head to head with Goff.
Yeah, yeah.
And then the next episode just be jam-packed episode, finish up.
Yeah.
I assume Baby Yoda's got to go off. I think Grogu's got to hit that force button and he's going to start destroying shit.
Well, if they did a recreation of the scene in episode 7 where Rey takes the lightsaber from Kylo Ren when he's trying to do the Force thing, what if Grogu does that to Moff Gideon with the Darksaber?
He's just whipping it around. And
little
Grogu has a weapon.
I don't think he's going to wield a lightsaber, because he doesn't. Because they've been using a puppet the entire time, and I don't see them switching him to CGI anytime soon.
No, I don't see. And there's no one for him to like use it.
Yeah.
Train. So there's also all these characters we met so far. Which one comes back to help? And if Ahsoka is looking for her friend,
Ezra.
Yep, who was taken by Moff something or other.
By Thrawn.
Yep. Maybe Thrawn's on the ship. Maybe they team up that way. Maybe he calls in a favor to the Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
If it's the sheriff, I'm gonna punch somebody. Yeah, I just happened to be in space today. Oh, your little friend's hurt?
See, I wasn't a fan of that character. Everybody loved him.
I liked him, but he's a one-off character.
Yeah.
I don't need a whole spin-off series.
Yeah, honestly, I'm super excited. I think the next episode's going to be good, but I don't think it's going to be like amazing. I think a lot of it's going to come down to episode 8.
I haven't been able to pick anything out at this point.
Yeah.
And they've kept everything under wraps, luckily.
I think these last 2 episodes are going to be pretty long too.
I hope so.
I don't think they can be short at this point.
It's so good that it doesn't, if it's an hour, if it's half hour, I feel great.
Mm-hmm.
But there's definitely emotions tied
I wonder
to
who
it.
they have directing these episodes too.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't look.
Ready for Ryan Johnson to direct episode 8?
Is that this coming one?
No, that's the one after.
Oh.
Imagine if he gets the last episode.
Yeah, he's going to just redo everything from the first 2 seasons. That's all he's going to do. He's going to rewrite it.
Baby Yoda's eyes turn orange, becomes a Sith.
No. Even better, Grogu's just a dream. It's a hallucination. And then there's another Death Star. It's a Death Watermelon.
Hey, they are making Starkiller Base during that time.
Oh, God.
Let's see. Rick Famuyiwa? I've never heard of this guy. He directed Chapter 6 and Chapter 2 of last season.
Well, the other thing about TV shows, directors are cool and they're good names, but they don't change the story.
No.
And the cast...
It's more the vision.
Right. And the cast and crew pretty much do all the work every week. It's just the new director.
Yeah.
Because, again, Kevin Smith talks about it where he'll do, like, Flash and Supergirl. And he just, like, the cast and crew knows what they're doing. It's just kind of up to you to move little pieces around.
Yeah. And they have no information on Chapter 16. Maybe we get Dave Filoni back for Chapter 16.
Could be.
That would be awesome.
I don't know. Everything's under wraps. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about, man? We are rocking an hour.
Not really.
I feel like that's a good organic stopping point.
Yeah. I think we're good.
You want to give out some of our details, how to get hold of us, where to find us?
Yeah, so if you guys want, you can follow us on Twitter. We have a Facebook page now, and we have an Instagram. Just search Nerds in the Gym. You should see a picture that has, hold on, I gotta look at. I think it's a kettlebell and then a couple lightsabers on it, and it says Nerds in the Gym over it. And then we have merch on a Teespring website. I don't know the link. You'll have to find that somewhere online. You can also find us on YouTube, Nerds in the Gym, which the link to our merch is in the description of the videos, as well as a link to all of our podcast outlets, I guess. We're on iTunes. We are on Spotify. We are on Amazon. Obviously, if you are listening to this, you're probably using one of those three things. But yeah, check out our social media, and thank you for the support.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We're trying to get Joe back next week. A little hard with his one leg, but he's got the heart of 2 lions and the leg of 1 gazelle. No worries. As always, shout out to Steve Jones, wherever you are. We miss you.
We love you, Steve.
All right, guys. We'll catch you next week. Adios, Marco.
Adios, Brandon.
Final save as.
Oh wait, I gotta stop the recording.
I gotta do that too. I keep forgetting to stop the OS.